Yo, what's good, my people? It's your boy Jason Gooner back again with some more content for the people. As you can see in the thumbnail and the title, it is the Copa America 2024 full preview show, people. We're going to go through all the groups, of course, try to predict them, tell you who's going to finish first and second, get out of the group, and get to the quarterfinal stage of the Copa America. Yes, people. So this is going to be a fun show, people. We're going to go through all the teams, as I said before, try to pick the winners and second place, third place, fourth place, go through all the groups, have a good time doing so. Of course, we've been keeping up with the Euros as well. Did a watch along today, so thanks to all the people who tuned in, dropped a like on that video. Very thankful for that. Yeah, man, and we're going to keep the content pushing through this busy summer of football. Of course, the Reggae Boys did qualify for the Copa America, so we are tuned in keenly to the Copa America coming up shortly here. Of course, the first match will be tomorrow night, close to me in Atlanta. Won't be able to go though. Have some other obligations I have to take care of. Doing some coaching tomorrow night, so overlap of time didn't really work out for me. I'm multitasking right now, people, so see with me. I had this stream set for about 10:30, but definitely been watching this West Indies match. So if you if you notice me looking down, I have the match on right here on my phone. I'm watching. So yeah, man, all the West Indies fans, big up on yourself as well. This one look like it's gonna come down to the wire. Just picked up a nice wicket there. I think Moeen didn't quite get enough on it for 6. Caught again by Johnson Charles, so he keeps getting catches at his home stadium. So 86 for 2, 10.2 overs, chasing 181. So poised for big finale. Yeah, so could big up people in the building earlier on DNA Football. Big up yourself, my brother. Yeah, man, and subscribe to DNA Football for sure. Definitely are doing thing as well. Float Management, big up yourself. Yeah, man, when I go through the group, you don't know, this is the football show, so I'll break down the teams. Look at the teams all together, people. We put them on screen for you. Look at the players, and try to figure out, based on recent form, tactics, and everything like that, which teams we think will advance through these groups. Definitely also in the title, you see where it says leading goal scorers and top players. So we're going to try to give you some ideas as to who we think will be leading the charts in the goal scoring, and who will be deemed as some of the top players in the competition when it's all said and done. And the last bullet point on the title tonight is, will Concacaf keep up? We saw some friendlies happen before the World Cup. We saw Jamaica playing what some would call inferior teams in World Cup qualifying, and maybe not winning by as wide a margin as some would have hoped. So we're going to see if the gap in quality or the gulf in quality is too great, and how seriously will these CONCACAF teams fare. And we'll get a brighter picture of that, of course, when we go through the group. So we'll do that simultaneously as we go through, and then to close it off, we'll do the leading goal scorers and top players. Yes. So you don't know, people, it's the late night show, the late night segment. If you're a fan of the channel, you know that this is the time when usually we have time for drop content. So yeah, I want to go ahead and do this full preview show. I think it's good to know going into the tournament what to look out for, what teams going on with some things leading into this tournament. Definitely, when you look at the Conmebol teams, obviously you have the defending champions Argentina, current Copa champions and World Cup holders. Obviously Brazil, the powerhouse perennially, maybe not on the best of form right now, but we're going to go through them as well. Colombia, Uruguay, both two teams, at the current moment above Brazil in the standings in World Cup qualifying. Early days yet, still 6 games, still 12 games apiece to play for everybody, but never rare to see Brazil so far down the rankings. I believe right now they're in 6th place out of 10 teams. So yeah, 2 teams in our group also ahead of Brazil. That's Ecuador and Venezuela. So we're gonna get to all of that, people, break all of that down, look at recent form and go through it together, people. So yeah, man, share around the video, let people know. I see Fresh God in the building. Bless up yourself, Fresh. Always I make the people them know what go on with the channel. Yep, 832 subs. So yes, we're doing a thing. Yeah, man, make them know, touch up the like button every time, Yeah, man, and subscribe as well. Yeah, so people, I just want to say big ups. 91 for 2. All right, West Indies are going to them thing. 93 for 2, what that a wide, channel. Yeah, so multitask. Yeah, man, make them know. Smash the like button and share up the content. Let the people them know we're live, you know. Might be a little late for some, but because we bring the quality content, this can always be viewed after the live show. All right, so make we get right into it. Sadna, big up yourself, you know. Respect for the view. And I don't know you're gonna smash the like button because you're good people, you know. All right, so we're not waste no time, people. Let's go straight into let's go straight into the group. So as you saw on the thumbnail for the video, which I must say, people, I put in some work on that one. So let me know what you think about that thumbnail. I think, you know, no disrespect to all the countries in it. I don't believe that I got all the logos correct. I think I might have used a few older ones, but yeah, no disrespect meant by that, people. I just wanted to try a thing and make a nice thumbnail for this and represent all the nations participating, you know. So that was my attempt, people, you know. Yeah, man, if you can keep that ratio going throughout the video, that would be great. As long as I can get the amount of likes as the people that forward in, then we'll have a successful video. Remember, people, the likes actually helps me to get it out there into the YouTube space. People turn on them YouTube, anything to do with football that them like, they might see the video and click and hear that somebody with sense talking football, and they might just stay. You know what I mean? You never know. So Hot Chili, big up yourself, you know. Long time viewer of the channel, big up Hot Chili. We'll go through the group them, see? Yeah, so all right, let me get on the screen here. I'm on the Copa America site, so I can share that with you guys. I did want to. Here we go. So Copa America had the rosters all on their site. So I just wanted to go through the rosters as we go through the teams and the groups. All right, so let's check this. All right, cool. So this should be. Let me know if this is big enough. I zoomed it a bit, so it should be better now. All right, so just a reminder of the groups right here, people. So Group A, we have Argentina, Peru, Chile, and Canada. Group B, Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, Jamaica. Group C, United States, Uruguay, Panama, and Bolivia. And Group D, Brazil, Colombia, Paraguay, and Costa Rica. So that's the 4 groups right there, people. And then the confirmed team roster. So first and foremost, the first team we're going to discuss will be Argentina. Of course, Argentina, as I said before, World Cup holders, Copa America holders, definitely going into this tournament, one of the favorites. But let's just take a look at the roster that they chose. So this is the full roster, people. Goalkeepers to forward. So we have Emi Martinez, Franco Armani, and Geronimo Rulli of Ajax. Of course, Emi Martinez will be the starter there. Legendary status in Argentina at this point, known as Dibu by the fans over there in Argentina. Defenders, you have Gonzalo Montiel, who played with Nottingham Forest this past season, Nahuel Molina of Atletico Madrid, Christian Romero of Tottenham, Sherman Pezzella of Real Betis, Martinez Cuarta from Fiorentina, Nico Otamendi, Benfica, Lisandro Martinez, Man United, Marcos Acuna, Sevilla, and Nico Tagliafico of Lyon. So one thing that I noticed right away is continuity. You know, a lot of these players would have been a part of that, of actually both the 2 titles that they've recently gotten, the 2021 Copa America and the World Cup last year. So yeah, I think, well, actually not last year, 2 years ago now, end of 2022. But a lot of these players would have been around. You know, I think Martinez Cuarta, one that's new, but pretty much for the most part, everybody else would have been a part of that squad. So a lot of continuity in the defenders there, well represented all across Europe. Yeah, so midfielders, you have Guido Rodriguez, Another one that's been around, Leandro Paredes. Another one, Alexis, Liverpool. Rodrigo de Paul, Atletico. Ezekiel Palacios, good season with Leverkusen. Enzo Fernandez, Chelsea. And Gio Lo Celso of Tottenham. Now the forwards, we have Angel Di Maria, Valentin Carboni, that's a newer player there from Monza, only 19 years of age. Then we have Lionel Messi, Inter Miami, Alejandro Garnacho, Manchester United, Nico Gonzalez, Fiorentina, Lautaro Martinez, Inter de Milan, and Julian Alvarez of Manchester City. So that is their squad, people. As I said before, a lot of continuity. Really just a few new names, Martinez, Quarta, Garnacho, and Carboni, probably the three players that you would say are newer additions to this team. For the most part, a lot of continuity, the same team, really. And at this point, you have to say that they are a unit that know each other very well, and it's going to be tough. They're going to be a tough one to beat in this tournament. Definitely one of my favorites. I think when you look at the squad in total, a good mix of youth, experience. Most of these players are winners at this level as well. As I said before, 2 previous tournaments they have won. So, they have that winning mentality, and they have a strong goalkeeper that can come up big on his day. So, all the ingredients of a tournament team that could win. Lionel Messi at this point of his career, probably you don't have to lean on him as much for everything, but still in his moment can make it happen, as we saw 2 years ago in the World Cup, or a year and a half really at the World Cup in Qatar. So yeah, Argentina, definitely a team that everyone will be worried about. Charles Brahma, big up yourself, just arrived. I haven't heard anything regarding John Bell. Is he with the team? Charles Brahma, that is a great question. One that I couldn't answer for you. I did see that John Bell got a few minutes off the bench on the 15th of June, and would have, I thought, met up with the team. But, with him being a newer player, it's a bit telling that we haven't seen that interview with John Bell. He's a player that I'm sure Simon would want to interview. So, maybe while I'm doing this video and they hear me talking about it, somebody might let me know. But I don't know Charles Brahma. I can't confirm or deny if he's with the team, to be honest with you. Hard to bet against Argentina right now, in my opinion. Yeah, actually, it's a situation where, they have done it and their team is back. They're healthy. So, what's stopping them from doing it again? But there are 15 other teams that would say they're ready to do it. So that is Argentina's team. As I said, very formidable. Every level, I think they have match winners. So, yeah, great team. Really, really great team. Manager that gets the best out of them as well. Peru, another team in this group. Pedro Gayer said, at this point, a veteran, plays in the MLS now at Orlando. Carlos Caseda and Diego Romero, both local, play in the Peruvian League. Then we have defenders Luis Abram, another MLS player at Atlanta United. Advincula, my baller from Boca Juniors. Miguel Araujo, Portland Timbers. Cayens, AK Athens. Marcos Lopez, Feyenoord. Santa Maria Atlas in Liga MX. Oliver Sone, Silkeborg. Carlos Zambrano, Alianza Lima, another Peruvian, and Aldo Corzo, Universitario. And just one thing to note, people, in this Argentina squad, I believe there's only one player playing currently in Argentina, and that is Franco Armani, veteran goalkeeper for River Plate. So just interesting to note. As you saw reading through Peru's, they had about 4 players so far playing in the local league, a couple MLS players as well. So interesting as you go through the teams to see the different levels that the players are playing. Moving through the midfield for Peru, Wilder Cartagena, Orlando City, MLS again, Jesus Castillo, Sergio Pena, Piero Quispe, another Liga MX player, Christian Cueva, currently a free agent. Been doing it a few years now for Peru. One of those players at international level that always cause problems. Andre Carrillo, I believe he's playing somewhere in the Middle East. Lapadula, another one that's been around for a while for Peru. Striker Cagliari playing in Italy right now. Brian Reina, Franco Zanelotto, Andy Polo, another one that's a veteran, been around for years. Joao Grimaldo, Edison Flores, very good, skillful left footer. Jose Rivera and Paulo Guerrero still doing it. Paulo Guerrero, I have to check how old Paulo Guerrero is, people. I mean, Paulo Guerrero been playing for a long time. Very talented striker. Played for a long time in Brazil, but currently, yeah, he's 40 years old. I mean, I knew he had to be up there. This man is 40, people. Paulo Guerrero playing at home in Peru now. Yeah, man. Paulo Guerrero, amazingly still doing it out there. Yeah, so I'm sure they won't be leaning on him too much, but great to see him still doing it at 40 years old. Next, we move on to Chile. Claudio Bravo still doing it as well. Real Betis goalie Gabriel Arias and Brian Cortes. Defenders, we have Mateus Catalan, Nico Fernandez, Thomas Galdames, Mauricio Isla, another veteran, Paulo Diaz, another veteran, Guillermo Maripan, playing for Monaco, Lichnowsky, playing for America, Gabriel Suazo, playing in France for Toulouse, Benjamin Kusevich, playing for Fortaleza. All right. Now, Rodrigo Echeverria, Marcelino Nunez, Norwich City, Cesar Perez, Eric Pulgar, Flamengo in Brazil, Diego Valdez, America, Esteban Paves, Colo Colo. Alexis Sanchez still doing it, people. Inter Milan. Eduardo Vargas as well, playing in Brazil now. Veteran striker at this point. Brent Bertrand Diaz was some what do you call it, controversy surrounding Ben Bertrand. Basically, the coach said, he needs to learn Spanish and everything, but I guess all of that has been worked out and he's in the squad. Victor Davila from CSKA, over in Russia, Max Guerrero, Dario Osorio, Midtjylland in Denmark, and we have Christian Zavala and Marcos Bolados, both of Colo Colo. So that is the Chilean squad. Some names that you will remember from days gone by. Remember, this team did win back-to-back Copas. Last time it was held in the US, the Centenario, they defeated Argentina and penalties after winning the year just prior as well. So probably, one of the last go around for some of this golden generation from Chile. And we'll see if some of the new guys coming through can supplement what they have going on. Jano should I run him out? 55 from 35 balls. It gets sticky, people. And of course, the first CONCACAF team we're gonna look at so far for the tournament, this would be Canada. So they are in Group A, and let's see who they brought. So of course, Jesse Marsh, the new manager for Canada, our head coach. And we'll see what he brings to the table. His style of play, very high press, came up in that Red Bull school. Ralph Ragnick, way of playing, high press, just 90 minutes of chaos, definitely playing on the front foot. So let's see if Canada's team was picked accordingly for that type of style. So Maxime Crepeau, Portland Timbers, Thomas McGill, and Dane St. Clair. So, interesting to see who Marsh goes with. I think this is a spot where a lot of people have had a lot of different things to say regarding the goalkeeper ever since they have moved on from, the veteran they had. So let's see who he goes with in his first major tournament for him. Defenders, we have Bombito, Cornelius, Alfonso Davies, Luke de Faugerolles, Faugerello. French is not my best thing. I can tell you the honest truth, people. Kyle Hibbert, Alistair Johnson, Richie Larea, and Kamal Miller. You might clip me for that thing there. No. Big up, G's. Big up yourself, United. Chile winning all the Copas Jamaica has been in. Don't see them making it 3 in a row. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Chano thought it was a catch and it gone. 6. Rough. They're going to pick up the pace now. 45 from 32 them need. Jeez. 136 for 2. That gets sticky. All right, where was I? Midfielders. Ali Ahmed. Matthew. All right, we allow that. Stephen Eustáquio, Ishmael Kone, Jonathan Osorio, and Samuel Piet. So a lot of the people that we're used to seeing, Ali Ahmed, a younger player, brought in the CF Montreal midfielder as well, a newer player. Eustáquio, Kone, Osorio, Piet would be the ones that have been there. Forward line now, we have Theo Beer, Motherwell, Scottish League, Tejan Buchanan at Inter didn't really get much time this season though. Jonathan David at Lille, good season for him. Junior Hoylett still doing it. Aberdeen. Oh my gosh, another 4. Tani Olowesi from Minnesota United, Liam Miller from Basel, Kyle Larin, Mallorca, Jason Russell Rowe, Columbus Crew, and Jacob Schaffelberg, Nashville. So MLS heavy squad here for Canada. A lot of new faces that the coach has brought in as well. When you're talking about Tani, talking about Theo Beer, Ali Ahmed getting a nod as a younger player. Yeah, so Kyle Hibbert, another one I haven't seen much in the squads. So yeah, he's bringing in some new faces, starting his new regime. But that would be the 4 teams right there, people. What I want to do also is look at the games. So these are the Group A games. We have Argentina, Canada, and then Peru, Chile. Those will be the first 2 games of the group. And they should play again on Sunday. No, on Monday. Or Tuesday. Chile, Argentina, and Peru, Canada. And then Saturday, Argentina, Peru, Canada, Chile. So that will be the order of the games for the tournament for Group A. So what do you guys think, people? At the end of these 3 games, how do you see these tables panning out? Of course, the first game, the curtain race, Argentina, Canada, tomorrow night. Get my book. Come on, document this, Because when we get everything right, more the people know. All right, so for me, I don't think there's going to be a surprise at the top. I think Argentina with a bit too much. Maybe a team gets a draw off of them, but 7 points minimum I see them getting in this group. Now, as far as second place goes in this group, people, I think it's going to be open, I think if we take a look at, let's look at some signs that would kind of help us to predict what might happen here. So I'm going to look at this. Another 4 channel star, man. Them look like they might win, All right, so we're going to look at the Conmebol qualifiers. Yeah, Conmebol qualifier standing. So when you look at Peru and Chile, they are really struggling right now. I was at 6. My gosh. 30 runs from 28 now. My word, man, I might move so. Chile and Peru. So Peru is in last in this qualifying table right now on 2 points. Chile is in 8th, just above Bolivia on 5 points. So they are both struggling in the table. really not getting the results that they need to, get them closer to qualifying for the next World Cup. Of course, 7 teams basically have a chance to get there with the addition of 16 teams to the World Cup. So, 7th place in Conmebol will get you to the playoff, and the top 6 automatically will go. So, one win here or there could get you right back in it, but this is anything to go by. They have really been struggling. If we look at more recent form, Chile recently played some friendlies against Paraguay, and actually just played one friendly. So they have been relatively inactive leading to this tournament. They did win against Paraguay 3-0 though. And I think England is going to win in this over. 4-6, 4-6 off of this over from Shepherd. Jeez. So Claudio Bravo did start this match but didn't finish it. Looked like he had to come off at halftime. Hopefully for them that was just precaution. Definitely would want his experience out there. Still the same names. I mean, Isla started at right back. Sanchez played in the number 10. Eduardo Vargas striker. So yeah, this was pretty much a similar lineup to what we used to seeing. And that was their most recent game in June. So this would have been basically, members of the squad to be playing coming up here. Victor Davila had a brace in this one. Oh my gosh, another 6. Oh my gosh, bro. Yo, Shepherd is getting clotted in this over, bro. 14 from 25 now, just like that. No, say whether I need about 200 odd on the picture, Jaja. Yeah, float, man. Listen it, man. That's why should I just turn it off, Sure. Yeah, so let me show you what I look upon people. So just looking at recent games of Chile. Well, the recent game of Chile, I should say. This is how they came out in the 4-2-3-1. Chile currently coached by Gareca. Very experienced manager, Argentinian. Of course, I remember him from coaching Peru at the World Cup. Or in Russia though, I remember him from. Don't think Peru was at the last World Cup. Or were they? I don't remember. Were they? Yeah, no, they never made the last World Cup. I didn't think they did. They lost in the qualifiers, that's right. And penalties too, rough. Yeah, so I remember him from coaching Peru at that World Cup, and they had a good World Cup in 2018, honestly. One of the teams I really like. I remember that's where I saw Advincula playing for the first time. But yeah, on to Chile, where he's been now. When you look at the team's matches, as I said, pretty inactive. They did play France in a friendly in March, only lost that one 3-2, and they beat Albania, who we've seen at this Euro looking really good. Yeah, this over lost the match for us though. Catch him. Jeez, I'm another 4. Yo, the man them have done the game fast, brother. It's over. Yeah, so not too bad in their last 3, as I said, kind of inactive going into this tournament, but they have to be ready. They have a decent squad, decent mix, as I said, experience and some new players coming through. So Chile, one to look out for. Let's look at the other team in the group more recently, what they have been up to. So that's Peru. See how active they have been going into this tournament with friendlies. All right, so they just had a game with El Salvador, and they also played Paraguay. So let's look at how they roll out for those two. Peru and Paraguay here. This one ended 0-0. Peru coached by Fossati now. I believe he's from Uruguay. Had the job since December last year. This is the 0-0. Played a 3-4-1-2 system. And this is the players that were run out to start. Tapia, been around for a while now, captain in the team. Let's see who they brought in. Carrillo, the Spider, came on. Guerrero still getting minutes. Advincula now off the bench. So yeah, the usual suspects getting a game. And that one ended 0-0. And then, in their most recent game, they beat El Salvador 1-0. Of course, you know El Salvador from Concacaf. 3-5-2. So, coach comfortable in the back three system. Advincula got the captain this time, played right wing back role. And as you can see, decent performance from most of the players. Playing against El Salvador, who I'm sure would have put out a good, strong team. Yes, most of these players are the players you would see. So yeah, this right here basically shows how Peru and Chile go into it. Back three system for Peru, back four for Chile, and then of course now let's take a look at the Canadians. You know, they recently had some friendlies as well. One of the benefits of qualifying for the World Cup, well, to some a benefit, to others may be different, but I would say being able to play France and the Netherlands, that's a better tune-up for this tournament coming up than what Jamaica would have had to play. But some would say otherwise, that Jamaica's games meant more and they counted for more, so maybe the pressure is a bit different. So I will always take the quality of opponent to challenge myself over the game meaning something, but I understand the other side of the argument as well. So this was their first friendly that they played. They got beaten by the Netherlands 4-0. I did watch a large chunk of this game. Jesse Marsh, as I said, taking over the reins, playing a 4-4-2 system on the day. We have seen Canada lately playing a lot of back three systems, so it's a bit of a change for how they've been playing. A lot of the normal starters, maybe Bombito, a bit of a surprise, and it looks like St. Clair got the nod in this one. But let's compare this 11 to the one that ended up drawing 0-0 with France. A lot of people were raving about this result. Of course, anytime you can hold a powerful team like France to 0 goals, you have done pretty well. But let's look at how they lined up compared to that first game. Same system, 4-4-2, and pretty much the same exact starting 11, except for that change in goal, Crepeau getting the nod. So, is that something to judge it off? He played one against Netherlands, one against France. The game against France was a clean sheet with the same defense. So does he, give him some points there? So we'll see who he starts in tomorrow's game. I would probably go for Crepeau, a little more experienced. But I'm sure, Canadian fans watching this, if they're not here now, you can leave it in the comment section. Who would you go with in goal, Crepeau or St. Clair? So Hot Chili has said first, Argentina, Chile second. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. I believe that I don't know. I think Canada get a little new manager bounce, But Chile though. All right, I'm gonna say Argentina, Chile, Canada. I think Peru's struggles continue. All right, so I'm going to say Argentina, Chile, Canada, and Peru. How are we doing on time? All right, 35 minutes. That's good. All right, so next up, people, I'm not gonna do Jamaica's group next. Jamaica, of course, in Group B. We're gonna move right through to and do Group C. I will close off the groups with Jamaica's group. So let's go back to the table here. No, first and foremost, let's go back to the squads. I'll do the same exercise. Let me get down to group. All right, Group C. So this is Group C, people. Perfect. Share my screen. Remember to like the video, people. Don't forget to like, share the video and subscribe. All right. So we're gonna look at the squads in Group C, people. As I said before, of course, I'm not going crazy. Adjusted Group A. We're gonna do Jamaica's group last. All right. We're gonna save that one for last. All right. So this is going to be big up yourself, Pastor Lansley. I know it kind of late in the night, but respect for the view, boss. Make sure you like the video, share it around to your people as well. Let them know that there's another sane voice doing football content. All right, so we have Group C. United States is the first squad we're going to look at. So let's look at the goalkeepers. Matt Turner, poor season at Nottingham Forest, lost his job. Sean Johnson, Toronto FC, and Ethan Horvath, Cardiff. Actually had a pretty decent season, did Horvath. Sean Johnson started off the season okay with Toronto, but I do want to check Horvath for a second because I think Turner definitely, if you look at the friendlies and all the minutes that he's been getting, still would be the one in the lead for Triple G Berhalter, but Ethan Horvath probably has a decent shout. Made 16 appearances this season. Really and truly, let's see. Yeah, he got to the club in February or January, in the January transfer window, and pretty much, started all the games to end the season. So, let me take this out. Journal music I play. All right, so yeah, those are the three goalkeepers for the US. Moving on to the defenders now. We have Cameron Carter-Vickers of Celtic, Chris Lund of Palermo, Mark McKenzie, Genk, Shaq Moore, Nashville, Tim Ream, Fulham, Chris Richards, Crystal Palace, Anthony Robinson, Fulham, Miles Robinson, FC Cincinnati, and Joe Scally of Mönchengladbach. Then moving into the midfield, we have Tyler Adams, injury-riddled season, but finding his fitness right at the right time for the US. Johnny Cardoso, Real Betis, Luca De La Torre, Celta Vigo, Weston McKennie, Juve, Yunus Musa, Milan, Gio Reyna, Nottingham Forest, and Malik Tillman of PSV Eindhoven. Forward line now, we have Brendan Aronson of Leeds, Flo Balogun of Monaco, Ricardo Pepe, PSV Eindhoven, Christian Pulisic, Milan, Josh Sargent, Norwich, Tim Weah, Juve, and Haji Wright of Coventry. So that is the full squad for the US. Something that Jamaican fans and maybe Concacaf fans always like to consider with these US teams. How many MLS players actually made the team. So you have Sean Johnson 1, Shaq Moore 2, Miles Robinson 3. I believe that is all of the MLS players there. Pretty much all the other players play in Europe. So yeah, some big clubs. I mean, a couple at Milan, Monaco, Juve, could be on his way to Aston Villa as well. PSV Eindhoven, Bournemouth, Palermo, Celtic, Genk, Fulham. So yeah, a lot of quality up and through this lineup. I think the coach, for the most part, is pretty settled on his starting 11. If you look at, and I will look at their games that they've had previously as we're going to picking the groups and everything. But yeah, I think for the most part, he probably knows what his his main players are. I mean, there's maybe a few positions on the pitch that are up for grabs every game, and that would probably be one of the centre back spots. I think Richards, for the most part, it is probably a nailed down start at this point due to his performances in the Premier League and recently for the US as well. Thought he played really well in the Gold Cup game, not Gold Cup, excuse me, the Nations League semi-final against Jamaica, and also in the final as well. So yeah, interested to see who Berhalter partners Chris Richards with on the back line. And then again, always a debate at striker. Balogun definitely hasn't scored that many goals or had that many assists for the US. And a lot of the people that are fighting for that place when it comes to Haji Wright or even Ricardo Pepi, they seem to be a little bit more clinical in front of goal. So, and offer that different threat as well. So interested to see. Those are the decisions. I think midfield pretty much picks itself if they're fit. Musa, McKennie, and Adams. Gia Reyna somehow gets into the mix as well. So that's a decision that you'll have to come up with. Does Gio Reyna start in a 3-man midfield? Do you sacrifice one of Adams? Probably not McKennie, so it would be Adams or Musa to get Gio Reyna into the mix. Front line, he tends to go with Weah Pulisic for the most part, and it's always that central forward striker role that is up for grabs between Balogun, Pepe, and to a lesser extent Haji Wright. So yeah, I think a lot of quality, a couple decisions that Berhalter needs to make with his starting lineup, but I think when you look at this team, maybe the defense isn't as strong as it could be when the likes of Des not in there. I still think that right now they are trying to figure out. I guess it could be Anthony Robinson left back and Scally right back. That might be the top of the pecking order right now. Lund has looked decent in his tries. I don't really think Cameron Carter-Vickers is so good. Mark McKenzie unproven. Shaq Moore decent, serviceable, but maybe not the best option. But that's the USA team, people. We'll see how they fare. But let's look at the rest of Group C and who is in there. So of course we have the big bad Uruguay now. Uruguay currently sitting, I believe, third place in the qualifiers behind Colombia and Argentina. So they're having a good start to qualifiers. Sergio Roche in goal, Santiago Mele and Franco Israel. Those are the three goalkeepers. Then you have Ronald Araujo, Barcelona, Jose Jimenez, Atletico, Nico Marichal, Dinamo Moscow, Matias Viña, Flamengo, Lucas Salazar, Krasnodar, Mateus Oliveira, Napoli, Sebastian Caceres, America, Guillermo Varela. At one time, I believe he was at Man U, if I'm not mistaken, Flamengo, and Nathan Nandez of Cagliari rounds out the defenders. Nandez, a converted defender, used to play midfield, now more of a wing-back role, right-back role that he normally plays. Midfielders, you have Manuel Ugarte of PSG, Rodrigo Bentancur, Tottenham, Federico Valverde, Real Madrid, the other Emiliano Martinez, Nico de la Cruz of Flamengo, De Araceta of Flamengo as well, and Canobio of Atletico Paranense. So this is a really strong part of their team. Ugarte, Bentancur, Valverde, quite a formidable trio when you're looking at midfielders. And they have the creativity as well with De La Cruz and De Araceta. So good balance in this midfield. I do like the looks of this midfield. Probably overall their strongest part of the team. But don't sleep on the forwards either, people, because you have Brian Rodriguez, Club America, Brian Ocampo, Cadiz, Facundo Pelistri, Granada on loan from Real Madrid. From Man U, Maximiliano Araujo, Toluca, Christian Oliveira, Los Angeles FC. So MLS getting some look in here. And then we have Darwin Núñez and the ageless wonder, Luis Suarez has been lighting up the MLS this season, people. Ridiculous stats this man has at the age of 37. Still listed at 3 million on the market. He has made 16 appearances in the MLS so far this season, 12 goals and 5 assists. So he's going crazy. Also played 4 Champions Cup Concacaf matches and had 2 goals, 2 assists in those. So overall played 20 games and has 21 goal contribution. So I mean, I don't care what level you're playing. I know MLS is what it is, but people, the man is still a threat when it comes to scoring goals. His movement, while it is not as quick as it used to be, that football brain is still very sharp. So, yeah. Yo, bless up yourself, 1-1. Always support the thing. Big up yourself, 1-1, dropping a super chat. Yeah, man, people, now follow 1-1 lead, man. Drop some super chat. See some more people, they drop in. Some big up the people, them. Yeah, actually, I did agree with you there. First and second. Bless up yourself, Sean. Suriname, I get more players, Me dep on the live earlier, I see I said Dilro soon and Doki. So, congrats. Suriname team are full up. Man, they want some bucks. Okay, first the word is that he will be there after their game tonight. Okay. So, today is the 20th. I'm going to play on the 22nd and then I come in after the game tonight. Jeez. What's the sense of that? So that's another player that more than likely won't play. Because why would all these people be there and them just come in and play? Alright, so anyway, I'm not thinking about that right now. One bless up everybody. That's why USA fans shouldn't compare Balogun and David, especially at the international level. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's really fair to David to even compare Balogun to him right now because, I mean, even if you look at this season, like David outperformed him this season for club as well. So, I mean, I don't know what argument them could I really say. One said Balogun looks poor when he plays for the US. I think Wright has probably looked better when he has got some time. Yeah, that is true. I think, Greg seems to like Haji either playing with another striker or off the left. So we'll see. I mean, I know that Haji did come on in the Nations League against us, but he basically came on to play striker with Pepe as well. So, as I said, normally when I see Greg use him, he has started right though as well in that striker role. I think he started him in the final, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I mean, maybe, I guess it will depend on camp. How they look in camp and stuff. Uruguay midfield is serious, believe me. Suarez has no legs and still a score a bag of goal. But we'll see if it's just the MLS, Balogun look better when under the what that coach's name again? The assistant. Yeah, me did like how them play under that coach, man. Them did look freer. Yeah, Demo, hush. First game of the Super 8 we lose. That's a tough one. But if we're being totally honest, I mean England more than likely is the toughest opponent in the Super 8. So the hope is we'll handle USA and that South Africa game is for all the marbles, Unless South Africa turn around and beat England, which is possible, I guess. Lee is starting. He's just there as backup. Yeah, fresh, I know. But like why this is tournament football. Greg Lee can pull up in the first 20 minutes. I mean, God forbid that don't go on, but you never know. Like we need to stop thinking that way. Uruguay is an incredible example of what can be done with a small population. They're not much bigger than Jamaica. Very true. But their football culture is different. Very, very different. Very, very different. They are known as the Italians of Conmebol, Berhalter is, in my opinion, bro. I don't rate him at all. I need to do many US fans. Yeah, I don't believe anybody rates him. Not a soul. Starting left back. Yeah, I know. For work for the win. Yeah, I mean, I guess hindsight is 2020, but I don't know if I would take Obed McCoy out of it. Especially with him being so successful on that wicket. There's something about the left arm pace in that breeze or something. So I don't know if I would have done that, to be honest. And it doesn't help that Shepherd was extremely expensive in that one over. First 20, John Bell comes in, bro. He just completed 84 minutes after coming off injury. One start, one sub appearance. Dexter can play there and Wesley can play right back. Yeah, and again, if we had all that cover in those positions, could we just have picked another midfielder then? It's these things matter about, because we already have 3 players picked that are either injured or not playing. Now you're adding John Bell just arriving tomorrow if he play tonight. Or I guess he could fly tonight. But he probably can't train tomorrow. And the game is Saturday. So would he be able to play with no training? Like I know it's like a long shot that him even play. But again, like why don't we want to maximize what we can do? What's the sense when we only go use 2 in the middle? True. It's just good to have the depth there. I mean, we have so much cover around the back. John Bell is in Houston already, bro. Okay, so now, but now you would tell me fresh that him gonna reach tomorrow, or somebody else he type that. Cause I know Charles did ask me, and then after their game tonight. Okay, so he's already in Houston because they played. So Seattle played Houston. That's what you say. Okay, yeah. Me just read back what you say fresh. Yeah, my bae. I think people gonna realize that we could have used the bodies there. I mean, I know the coach played that system where we don't really use that many, but it's all about the combinations and different things that the game need, and we have a lot of flexibility around the back. Not so much. Well, we have a decent amount in the forward areas, but not so much flexibility in midfield. So that's all, people. That is all. That is all. Let's see, John Bell. Information not yet available. All right, too early transfer market. I'll go to sofa score then. Remember to smash the like button, people. Don't forget that part. Very, very important. Amount of things me I do, people. Our next reason why I'm push back the stream, people. They watch the Kendrick and Friends concert. The man wheel they not like us about. Man played about 7 times, bro. Yo, brother move petty, bro. Man play they not like us like 7 times in a row, bro. And pause it on the A minor. Man just run it back after that about 3 times. And him sing it 4 more times fully. Believe me. Alright, John Bell. John Bell matches Them draw 2-2 in Houston. So I guess that's good. Can stay active and play left center back in a back three. Played 79 minutes. 6 clearance, 2 block shot, no dribble pass. 2 for 4 in the air, duels. 46 touches, only 2 possession loss, 94% passing accuracy. 2 for 2 on his long passes. So solid game. Got a 6.8 on the day. And let me see. So yeah, he came off in the 79th minute. So good run out for him. Got some minutes under his belt. Just his 4th appearance this season. So not the most active. Check Fat Mob. AR so far. Yeah, me just look. Yeah, me just look. I see him starting at left center back in the back three. So I'm getting practice for Grim lineup, you know. There for a couple of days. Okay, cool. Lambert, Lowe, Karai, Casey, those are the 4 midfielders, yeah. And at times Bobby Reed as well. Uruguay is a different type of team to the rest of the South American teams. Less silky football, but more unity, organization, fight, and heart than most, with some quality. They don't mind a war. Yeah, that's a good description, one. Very, I hate to say European based, but they do look more like they might fit into the Euro than that. Not that they wouldn't, because as you said, they do have that touch of the South American quality as well in certain actions, but yeah, I do think that they're a very disciplined and combative team for sure. Picking 2 injured players and 1 player, have a good chance is crazy in my opinion. Yeah, Winston Fowling, I agree, man. Utilize what they're giving you. They're giving you 26, get 26 players that can play. Yeah, me agree. When I read them for them, I said, me even add him. If you want them there, just to add them to the staff for the tournament. Who picks injured players? Yeah. It happens from time to time, one, but it's rare. Because I know like Lewandowski is injured right now, but more than likely play him next game. Those are reserves. Coach said Jamaica doesn't need 26. I don't see the sense either. If someone gets injured, you call in a replacement. No, but him take it on himself to say that Jamaica only need 23. But I guess him does smarter than all the other coach them. Because all the other coach them use them 26. And them fit. But him said Jamaica only need 23. I don't know. You can't add them to the staff when the staff are already limited. That means leaving people in Jamaica, which makes 0 sense. But that is true, Fresh God. The more staff they add, they would have to actually pay for the staff to stay and spend the whole time. So it is a economical reason as well why you wouldn't just make players that are injured part of the staff, because then that means you have to cut out actual staff unless you want to pay for the extra people. Most, if not all, our defenders play 3. Yeah, to my knowledge, you get 50. You get 50 paid hotel and all of that stuff. So Jamaica has, maybe since Bailey's not there, they would have done 25 and 25, but it was going to be 26 and 24. Meaning 26 players, 24 staff. Fresh got okay, so just bring them in the camping training session and be around at the hotel, or just leave them at home. Yeah, I mean, look, I think what tournament was that? Was it it was the Canada games. The Canada games. Devante Cole was around the team training and went to Canada as well for that leg of everything. Just as support, wasn't gonna play because his documents wasn't sorted, but he wanted to be around it and train with the boys. And the coach was okay with that. So now tell me what I'm happy having jail. No, Fresh. There are other players out there that we're just overlooking. John Russell is out there. Andre Gray is out there. Kova, Splat. Mother still if him have paperwork. I'm not certain on that, but if he does, then yes, him as well. Some of those under 23 players that were on that list. Miles Peart, Harris is of the world. Jonathan Rowe from Norwich. There's players, man. Your captain is needed. Let me use them 26, but injured players are in there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Fresh. Why have injured players? You only need 23 until people start dropping and getting suspended. You don't need players until you do. That is my philosophy as well. When people think everything will work out, not a man I go twist him ankle, nothing will happen. And I hope that is the case, but it's just very rare to happen like that. Not if he cannot play. In my opinion, it's ridiculous. He's only needed because the coach cannot control the player. When one says it's a controlling thing. Why bring 26 when half of them not play? It just don't make sense to me, seriously. All right, so Fresh God, make a work it out, honestly. So you have 26 players in a squad. All right, they gave you 26. 3 of those are goalkeepers. So that means 23 outfield players. Now, if you're telling me that 3 of those players injured, well, 2 of the outfield ones, well, 1 injured and 1 not going to be there. So now you're down to 18 outfield players. 10 outfield players start the match and you make 5 subs, or you have the option to make 5 subs. So that means if you make all the subs, only 3 man never play. Based on how you pick the team. So if by the third game, 4 man pick up 2 yellow card suspension, 1 man get a red card in the second game. That means you're down to 15 outfield player, That means you're down to the bare bones, What if 2 of the midfielder them out of the 4 where you pick, all have suspension in the 1 game? I mean, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, Now, these are some crazy scenarios that might not happen, but can't say me never warn you. Check. Ballheads TV. West Indies fall short, boss. Once Lambert is here, you won't see Russell. I say, either. Players who don't have passports. Yeah, I mean, one day we just need to reach out to every baller and just say, listen, man, just let me know so I can stop report on things falsely. Because I don't know who and who don't have. But as I say, Splat have, Kova have, Dante Casanova have, Tyler Roberts have, Fabian Reynolds have, Mackay Welsh have, a lot of players have. Fresh, you don't need extra players until you do. Bringing cheerleaders is a joke. You can only replace injured players 24 hours before the game. Team shot, obviously. Yeah, no, but Fresh, that is how you work through what might happen. It's all hypotheticals until they happen, But you have to look at all the variables. Yeah, man, so thinking in my head because obviously I have my mind on players like Dujan, Sterling and thing, but we don't know the passport situation. So as I think about like youth players where they play, because the coach seemed to put in a premium on youth, and we have other youth players that could come because the argument from Fresh when we're talking about other players and filling out the 26 with players that you think you would actually could use day one in the tournament. Him say, well, we want more JPL players. Why is it that the default have to be JPL players? Why? Don't bring up Welsh and Reynolds. I'm going to play U20s. Yeah, but those tournaments don't overlap. Fresh. We say that's too much work on them. Cause it don't start till the end of July. All the players are there to be used. Who is Welsh? Welsh played with the U20s. The the I guess you'd call it the preliminary to the championships, the qualifiers. I hope some don't need to be used. They won't need to be used. All right, so I'm gonna get punch track a little bit. Nice little convo in the comment section. But that is the Uruguay team, people. A mixture of youth, very, very high quality in midfield, especially. Solid defenders as well, to be honest. I mean, Araujo not on the best form with Barca. Jimenez maybe past his best, but just these are some players, Caceres as well, that seem to turn up for the big occasions in the national colours. Oliveira from Napoli should be good on the fullback side of things. Interested to see Varela after all these years, how he's looking if he gets game time. So yeah, interesting team here, Uruguay, on very, very good form. Next up, we have Panama, who got here by way of making it to the Nations League semi-finals. Of course, they fell short at the Nations League finals, losing to the Reggae Boys in the third place match. But this is Panama's team. Mosquera, their starter, plays at Maccabi Tel Aviv now. Luis Mejia, another one that used to have the starting job, but Mosquera has kind of taken that from him over the past year or so, or a few years. Cesar Samudio. Defenders, we have Eduardo Anderson, Saprissa in Costa Rica, Jose Cordoba of Norwich City, Eric Davis, veteran left back, Ivan Anderson, Michael Murillo of Marseille. Probably, I would say they're, best overall defender in terms of recognition and status. Cesar Blackman, Edgardo Farinia, Roderick Miller, and Omar Valencia of Red Bulls. Then in midfield, you have Ayarza, giant of a midfielder there. Anibal Godoy, great holding midfielder out of Nashville SC. And Carrasquilla out of Houston Dynamo, the MLS tandem there. Very, very good midfielder. They have Christian Martinez, Jose Luis Rodriguez, Edgar Barcenas, another great player, plays in Mexico now. Giovanni Welsh, one of their younger players. Then you have Freddy Gondola, Maccabi as well over there in Israel. Then you have Carlos Harvey at Minnesota and MLS, Cesar Yanis and Kaiser Lenis. Then forwards you have Ismael Diaz, Jose Fajardo, Sniper, and Eduardo Guerrero. So that is Panama's team right there. Love their coach, love their system they play, 3-4-3 system. Names that might not necessarily jump out at you if you're not a Concacaf fan, but definitely a solid set of players, and they have a clear vision of how they like to play. So that is Panama. Then Bolivia, the lowest ranked team in the actual competition, and their goalkeepers Vizcarra, Lampe, and Almada, Diego Medina, Carlos Fernandez, Marcelo Suarez, Jesus Sagredo, Jose Sagredo, Luis Haquin, Adrian Husino, Yomar Rocha, Lionel Justiniano, Boris Cespedes, Gabriel Villamil, Hector Cuellar, I love the name of that club, always ready, Fernando Saucedo, Robson Mateos, Miguel Terceros, Ramiro Vaca, Adalid Terrazas. Forwards, Lucas Chavez, Juame Cuellar, Rodrigo Ramayo, Cesar Menacho, and Carmelo Algarañas. And rounding it out, Bruno Miranda of the Strongest. So always ready and the strongest. Some of the best names I've seen for clubs in the world of football for sure. So that's Bolivia's team, people. So those are the 4 teams in this group. Let me just go back and look at the standings one more time so you can see it. So Bolivia, United States, Panama, and Uruguay. So based on ranking, it would be USA, Uruguay, Panama, then Bolivia. And that's in FIFA ranking I'm talking, people. But what I want to look at next is some of the recent form of all these teams. Because I think, as I said before, that tells a good story of what to expect. So let's first look at the US. Obviously, we had them in the Nations League in March. They were able to win both those games to be the champions again of the Concacaf Nations League. But more recently, we saw that they played 2 games against top opposition from Conmebol. The first one was against Colombia, and that was a nightmare for them. Yeah, man, the names of the clubs, great, man. The strongest, always ready. Yeah, man, wicked. Norman Campbell wasn't available along with the other that I will, how I say, I'm not going to name him. If we get injuries and suspensions, then we have to be used. Mari Williams and Amari Jams, but they didn't make themselves available, so choose forward. They maybe I don't see Covan's flat forward until they start play senior ball. Fair. Who are the best players in JPL this season? All right, so they might have a conversation. Names of the clubs are hilarious. USA draw versus Brazil and getting blitzed by Colombia at home. Yeah. So USA Colombia, let's look at that one first. This was a bad result for them. 5-1, as you can see. It was what 2-1 at one point, but then 77, 85th, 88th made it a much different scoreline. So it was 5-1 on the day. If you look at the balance of play, USA did have a nice stretch of time after they went down 2-0 in the first half, where they should have gotten a goal probably before halftime, and came out the better team in the second half as well. But once they got that first goal, Colombia really put their foot on the gas and dominated to end that game off. So let's just take a look at the lineup that was used by USA, especially. So Berhalter normally plays a 4-3-3. This was probably one of the poorest performances I can remember from Richards in the shirt. A 5.9 for him. Reem didn't do as badly on the stats, but yeah, I'm sure that's no consolation for him. He lasted 62 minutes. Pulisic did come out at halftime of this game and was having a very good game actually in this one before coming out 7.3 in just a half. So yeah, maybe Greg can turn to, I took some of my players out just to try out some other people, but people were calling for him to get fired after this game. It was 5-1, was embarrassing. Colombia really put it on them people. So that was their, first tune-up game before the Copa. Then they played another match against Brazil. And this one, the scoreline was a lot better. And to be honest, they could have actually won this game late. But yeah, much better performance as far as the scoreline for sure. And I thought, it was a really good performance overall. I thought this whole entire left side was very strong. Robinson, McKennie, and Pulisic. As you can see, Matt Turner had one of his best games, a 9.5, made a ton of saves, 11 saves on the day. Allison, not quite as active, but still active with 6 saves. So I thought this was a pretty good performance from the US. One that could give them a little bit more confidence going into the first game. Their first match, USA's first match is going to be against Bolivia. So they kind of ease into this one, playing the weakest team first, then they have Panama and Uruguay after that. So USA people, that is kind of how they have been looking coming into this one. Let's now take a look at another team in the group, which would be Uruguay. So Uruguay coming into this, let's look at what they have done. So they played a game May 31st against Costa Rica, and then they killed Mexico 4-0. So let's take a look at the more recent one, the 4-0. More than likely, this would have looked much like what they're probably planning to come with in the first game, barring injury. I know some of the MLS guys might not have been there, so I don't think Suarez was with the team this early. I believe they let him stay with his club. But more than likely, Nunes would be the one starting, of course, up front. So Darwin Nunes did bag a hat-trick in this one. Pelestri getting one as well to make those 4 goals. Really and truly, just a blitzing from them, handling Mexico here. But, Uruguay, as I said before, really strong team. I think the true strength lies in the midfield in this game. Valverde would have probably got a little extra time off due to his exploits in the Champions League all the way to the final. So he was not a part of this one on the day. But yeah, look to see some kind of variation of those three in the midfield: Rodrigo Bentancur, Ugarte, and Valverde. Interested to see where he deploys Valverde, because he's a player that definitely can get into the attack, but I think he's such an all-round player. Maybe you want him more in a box-to-box role, but we'll see what they do with that. Definitely pace to burn with Araujo and Pelistri, and definitely some strength in defense as well. So Uruguay, a team that's very difficult to break down, and they do have enough quality in the attacking third to get the job done as well. So yeah, that is Uruguay. And let's also check out Panama's most recent games. Of course, as I mentioned before, this game right here, they played. So they did have two World Cup qualifiers as well, because they are not hosts. They beat Guyana 2-0, beat Montserrat 3-1. But let's check what they did against Paraguay. They were able to get one tune-up game in, as well as their two qualifiers. So Panama's FA working hard to get them prepared. This was what they came with: Orlando Mosquera, Cordoba, Roderick Miller, Carlos Harvey, Murillo, Eric Davis, Godoy, Christian Martinez, Barcenas, Ismael Diaz, and Jose Fajardo. Let's see who they brought in off the bench. Giovanni Welsh. Okay, he's 24. I thought he was younger than that. So they brought in Giovanni Welsh, Gondola, Eduardo Guerrero, Ayarza, Blackman, Krug. So yeah, Panama. Interesting. Is Andrade injured? Or the coach just decided to not pick him this time? Because Andrade is a mainstay in the team. He must be injured. So yeah, that's Panama's team, people. We'll see if their style translates. I think it should. They're a team that plays somewhat of a South American style to me. So, they should be okay with the type of matchups that they're gonna face. They have Uruguay first, a tough one. Then USA next. So really two tough games, and they'll be hoping to get something from the game versus Bolivia in their final group game. So Bolivia, I don't know if they're gonna do much in this one, but let's see what they have done recently. Looks like they played two friendlies leading up, got 3-1 from Ecuador and 3-0 from Colombia. So yeah, not going into this on the greatest of form. If you look at their form table, really their only wins lately, they did pick up a win against Andorra. They beat Peru in qualifying late last year. But look at all those L's. A lot of L's, people. So yeah, Bolivia, uphill battle for them to get out of this group. So Group C, people, let's go ahead and pick the group out. I believe that the number one team in this group is going to be Uruguay, people. I do think that they're going to get through this one first. I just think that they have the right amount of quality, right balance, good defense, good attack, very solid midfield. So I'll put them number one. I do think that when you look at this one, the USA will finish second in this group. I think Panama will finish third. And I think that Bolivia are the cellar dwellers for this group. I think this one holds almost true to the rankings form. Uruguay currently, I keep saying they are, but let me check that. FIFA rankings. Because I know USA and Uruguay are like very close to each other. So let me see. I'm just checking some people. Okay, USA 11 and Uruguay is 15. Okay. All right, cool. So yeah, USA is actually the number one ranked team FIFA-wise. That would put Uruguay ahead of them. Humbled and destroyed. Brazil have been poor, but I think they hired a new coach. Not sure how good they will be, but they cannot be as bad as they were, surely. The Concacaf teams could cause some surprises. They probably expect our teams to be the whipping boys, but hopefully they catch a shock. Yeah, so I almost put Canada second, but I don't know. I think Chile's experience just get them over the line to get out of the group. So I had Argentina, Chile, Canada third. I do have Canada and Panama finishing third, USA finishing second. So that's the first CONCACAF team that I see going through based on the group so far. But we still have a couple more groups, so let's see. Their defenders don't mind backs to the wall defending. They're unlike other South American defenses and midfielders play physical football. They don't mind winning ugly. Not at all. Bolivia ain't good. When they don't have altitude on their side, they're not the same. At home in Bolivia, they're a far more difficult team to play. That is very true. That is very true. They don't travel well, and then they do use that to their advantage when they play at home. It's always a tough game for any opponent in Conmebol to go to Bolivia. So yeah, but lately it hasn't been so tough. I mean, they've been losing even at home too, so it's not looking good for them at all. All right, so that is that group. Let's go back to the teams again, and let's briefly go through the squads for. See how we're looking on time. All right, not too bad. I want to leave about 30 minutes or so to go to the Jamaica group. All right, so Group D. Group D, of course, we will find one of the most successful teams in this competition, the mighty Brazil. But are they still the mighty Brazil? That is the question. Now, the squad, of course, is going to be names that we all know. So, goalkeepers, Alisson, Bento of Atletico Paranense, and Rafael of Sao Paulo. So, two Brazilian league goalkeepers, of course, Edison didn't quite make it in time to get called for this squad. So Alisson more than likely will be seeing the bulk of the minutes at this tournament. Defenders, we have Danilo, captain at Juve now, Jan Couto, brilliant season at Girona, Guilherme Arana, another Brazilian league left back, has been making these squads quite regularly. Doesn't normally start though. Wendell of Porto having a resurgence this season. Lucas Beraldo, one of the young guns. PSG did break through this year with them. Eder Militao, Real Madrid, kind of injury plagued. Did come back towards the end of the season. Gabriel Magalhaes, great season for Arsenal. About 2 years in a row now, to be honest. Marquinhos, PSG, and Bremer, also of Juventus. Then we have midfielders Andreas Pereira, Fulham, Bruno G, Newcastle, Douglas Luiz, Aston Villa, could be on his way to Juve, Joao Gomez, Wolves, Lucas Paqueta, West Ham, Bettingard, and Ederson. Not that one, but the other one of Atalanta, Europa League winner this season. Forwards, you have Enrique, Evan Nielsen, Porto, Gabriel Martinelli of Arsenal, Rafinha of Barca, Rodrigo Real Madrid, Savinho, Girona, headed to Manchester City, and Vinicius Jr. Real Madrid. Closing it out is Pepe of Porto as well. So that is the Brazilian team, people. Few surprises when you look at the Porto contingent. Pepe, Evan Nielsen, to a lesser extent, a surprising inclusion of Ederson, but he did have a very good season with Atalanta, so I understand that one. Savio definitely deserves to get in this team as well when you look at the drop off of some of the previous players used, the likes of Anthony. Definitely, I think they went the right direction there. Very tricky player off the right hand side. If Rafinha struggling, I think he's a good option to use as well. Of course, Rodrigo and Vini Jr. both had great seasons. But I think some Brazilian fans are saying, has Vini really done it for Brazil yet? So I think this tournament would be the time for him to step up for them. I think they're going to be relying heavily on him to be amongst the goals. So let's see if he can produce. But that is Brazil's squad, people. Very, very solid team. Solid team. I think when you look in the midfield, perhaps a slight lack of creativity. I mean, Andres Pereira can pick a pass. Paqueta on his day can cause trouble as well. But, a lot of grafters in there as well. Douglas Luiz, a ball playing central midfielder. But, Bruno Guimaraes really almost like a midfielder that likes to get into the attack and finish chances. Joao Gomez, good all around player. So let's see. All of these options are decent in midfield. Very curious to see how Dorival Jr. uses this midfield. And also, I think when you look at the back line, um, I am not sure that he really knows what his best partnership is, because I've seen him use pretty much all of these guys at points. Lucas Beraldo and um, Marquinhos started the last game. The game before that, it was Eder Militao and was it Bremer? It was Eder Militao, and I forget, and I think maybe Danilo played centre back or something. I don't remember how it went, but he seems to not know exactly which way to go. Me personally, I would probably start Marquinhos and Gabriel Magalhaes personally, but of course I'm biased. But that's what I would start. I think it's a good balance, left, right foot. Um, Gabriel Magalhaes really like the more aggressive one. Marquinhos more of the reader of the game. I think it's a good balance between them. They play, for me, when they play Beraldo and Marquinhos, they're both a bit, you know, just not strong enough for me. I kind of need one of them to be a little stronger. So that's why I wouldn't play Beraldo and Marquinhos personally. But the coach looks like he might be leaning that way. Maybe because of the club familiarity, perhaps, but not sure. I wouldn't go that route, but let's see what the coach does. Dorival Jr., new to the team. So let's see what he brings. Under a lot of pressure in this Copa. Then they have Colombia. As you saw earlier, the 15th ranked team in Concacaf, at least I just saw. And currently they are flying pretty high in the Conmebol qualifiers. Remember them having a big game beating Brazil, which was like a huge scalp for them. So, first in a long time, I believe Brazil, I think first in like hundreds of years that Brazil lost in the Maracanã Stadium in a qualifying match. It was like I don't even remember what the actual stat was, but I think it was like the first one in like 100 years or something like that. Something mad. I'm trying to find the game now. Yeah, Argentina beat them, but Colombia beat Brazil in Colombia. That's what it was. Yeah, because they had back to back. They've lost 3 in a row, really, in qualifying Brazil. So really struggling in qualifiers. And I think that's really what got Dorival in the job. Those 3 losses. Mm-hmm. Don't see Brazil beating Colombia, Argentina, or Uruguay. Didn't expect Evan Nielsen. Yeah, that one was a bit of a surprise for me. Did play well in the Champions League though, but I still was surprised. Um, just looking at the comment section again. Yeah, that's another one fresh I was surprised about. Maybe the late injury to end the season kind of held him back. But yeah, I was surprised. I thought his versatility could have been used. A player that can play through the middle or down the left, but maybe it was a case of Martinelli or him, maybe. Because Martinelli has always been kind of on the periphery of this Brazil team. So um, I think Pepe is more of an out and out number 9. So maybe he wanted to have at least one like that, because when you're looking at their forward options, um, even though Evan Nielsen is really an out and out number 9, not Pepe. So yeah, I think that's what got him there. He's probably the one true 9 in this system. Hendrick is a more of a floater. Vinicius and Rodrigo the same wingers slash false 9 type of players. So just for that change of pace and switch up Evan Nielsen a bit more of a target. I say, I underestimate them. João Gomez a good baller, man. Andre would have been there if he wasn't injured. Brazil are producing some good young players again. One boy called Estevao looks really good. Scored a bang a few days ago as soon as he turns 18 to be in Europe, but they have others. Yeah, Estevao look crazy, the highlight tape look mad. He's trying to find it. Remember him just get a job. Open up Reggae Boys community. Bless up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chelsea signing him. Brazil look average. Yeah, that's why I say I don't understand their pairing. The only thing good is one is right-footed and one left-footed, but they play so similar. I'm not surprised I see embarrassing big man in Brazil league on a regular basis. Oh yeah, you never know. Yeah, man, Estevao at Chelsea by him. Yeah, man, hundreds of years. No, it was actually like 100 years. That was the stat that they hadn't lost a home game in World Cup qualifying since like 1900 something or some madness like that. Well, they couldn't have qualified then. So yeah, or 90 years or something. It was some mad stat. Ballets TV. I don't remember the exact stat though. Hendrick and the one who signed for West Ham been coming up to the ranking of Palmeiras. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pepe is a winger. That's what I corrected myself. I was really I was talking about Evan Nielsen and I said Pepe. Yeah. One signed by West Ham has been on the bench. I think come out of there and shine. Another one, lot of good young left-footed right wingers over there. Yeah, that's one thing. The left-footed right wingers, Brazil produced them a lot. Just seeing the name Rodrigo gives me nightmares. As a City fan, rough. All right, so let me keep going now. Colombia. So this is Colombia squad. Alvaro Montero, David Ospina still doing it. Camilo Vargas, Atlas. So one Mexican, one Colombian, and one in Saudi League. Carlos Cuesta, Genk. Daniel Munoz, great end to the season at Crystal Palace. Davinson Sanchez, Galatasaray. Deva Machado, Lens. Jean Lucumi, Bologna. Johan Mojica, Osasuna. Santiago Arias, Bahia. And Yerry Mina, Cagliari. Midfielders, James Rodriguez, Sao Paulo. Jefferson Lerma, Crystal Palace. Jorge Carrascal, Dinamo Moscow. Juan Quintero, Racing. Kevin Castaño, Krasnodar. Mateos Uribe Al-Sad, Richard Rios Palmeiras, and Jean Arias Fluminense, and Yasser Asprilla of Watford. Then forwards, you have Jean Cornaba, Krasnodar, Jean Duran. Aston Villa could be on his way out if you listen to reports. Luis Diaz, Liverpool. Luis Sinistera, Bournemouth. Miguel Borja, River Plate, and Rafael Santos Borre of Internacional in Brazil. So that is Colombia squad for the Copa America. Again, people, a team that just getting results lately cannot really look around them. Paraguay is next. Have the goalie from Red Bulls, Coronel, Aguilar, and Morinigo. Gustavo Gomez, Junior Alonso, Fabian Balbuena, still doing it, Dinamo Moscow, Omar Alderete, Gustavo Velasquez, Ivan Ramirez, Matias Espinosa, Nestor Jimenez, Andres Cubas, Vancouver Whitecaps, Ernesto Caballero, Fabrizio Peralta, Richard Sanchez, Matias Villasanti, Mati Rojas of Inter Miami, good player, Damian Bobadilla, Sao Paulo, another good player, Alejandro Romero Gamara, and Miggy Almiron of Newcastle. Adam, probably on his way out this summer. Adam Barrero, San Lorenzo, Alex Arce, Derlis Gonzalez, another veteran of the squad, Raman Sosa, Angel Romero of Corinthians, and Julio Enciso of Brighton, another talented young prospect in this tournament. Injury riddled last season, but definitely the season before you could see his quality. Then we have the Costa Rican lineup, another CONCACAF team. Kevin Chamorro, usually the starter of Saprissa, Patrick Sequeira, Ibiza, and Aaron Cruz of Herediano. This team will be full for the most part of local players from the Costa Rican league mixed in with some imports from Europe and also other parts of North America. So defenders, yeah, Fernan Ferran, um, Julio Cascante, Aston FC, Gerald Taylor, Saprissa, Francisco Calvo. This guy been playing forever. Juarez, Juan Pablo Vargas, Millonarios, Joseph Mora, Saprissa, Kiros, Jalen Mitchell, super young player, Alua, Alajuelense, Jason Molina, that is my name in Spanish, Jason, and Douglas Sequeira of Saprissa. Then midfielders, you have Brandon Aguilera now at Bristol Rovers, Orlando Galo Herediano, Josimar Alcocer, another young player of Westerlo, Ariel Lassiter, CF Montreal, Jefferson Brenes, and Alejandro Brand of Minnesota United. Then up front, Manfred Ugalde, star striker, playing for Spartak now, Joel Campbell, back in Costa Rica now, Anthony Contreras, Kenneth Vargas of Hearts, Alvaro Zamora, Andy Rojas, and Warren Madrigal. So that is Costa Rica's squad, people. So those are the 4 teams in Group D. Let's just take a quick look at something else before we move along to the star of the show for us, or for most Jamaican fans at least, and that would be Group B. But I just want to look at one other thing before we move on. What we're going to check now is these recent form of these teams. So, of course, Brazil played 2 games against what you would call the Concacaf powerhouses, I guess, Mexico and Brazil. They beat Mexico 3-2, and they drew, 1-0 with the USA. Let's just take a look at the lineups used by Dorival Jr. in these 2 games. He did a good job trying to see, different lineups, trying to get different partnerships going on. Yeah, it was Eder Militao and Bremer. So, he started played 2 games, and basically Gabriel Magalhaes looked like he's the 5th choice, which is madness if you ask me. But hey, that is what the coach thinks. Jan Couto and Arana started at right and left back. Allison started in goal. Ederson was in midfield with Douglas Luiz and Andres Pereira, and then he started Martinelli, Evan Nielsen, and Savio. So definitely kind of a changed around lineup. Did utilize his bench on the day, made 6 subs. Pepe saw the field, so did Lucas Paqueta and Hendrick, and then Bruno Guimaraes, Vinny Jr., and Joao Gomez also came on. So that was how they looked against Mexico. This one ended 3-2, as I said, and it was drama late, as it was an equalizer by the substitute Martinez, and then it was cancelled out by Enrique in the 96th minute to win the game for Brazil. And then looking back now at their USA match, this one was a tight affair that could have gone either way. I think Brazil probably edged it on the run of play, but USA could have definitely nicked the game as well. Brazil, as you can see, changed out the entire back line. This to me looks more like what we would probably see at the Copa America. Danilo at right back, Marquinhos, Lucas Beraldo, and Wendell. Then in midfield, this again is what I think you would more than likely see going into the Copa. Up for debate whether Joao Gomez keeps this position here beside Bruno, but I do think that he provides the balance maybe a little more than, say, a Douglas Luiz. But as you can see at halftime, that was the first sub. So, I think Douglas Luiz would have been trying to knock down that door and start over Gomez. Just depends on what the coach wants to go with. I think this front 4 more than likely will be Dorival's first choice. Again, if you look at the substitution pattern, Andres Pereira probably would be the one pushing Paqueta there. Savio, don't know if he'll get the nod over Rafinha just due to experience. Hendrick did come on for Bruno, and Gabriel Martinelli came on for Rodrigo. So, maybe you could see him switch around it, drop Paqueta deeper in the play, maybe start Vinny Jr. on the left, play Rodrigo in the 10, play Rafinha here and start a Hendrick up front. You could see him do that from time to time as well. So decent options to switch it up. But again, I think, with all the different qualities, it's going to be key for the coach to find the right combinations of players to get the best out of this team. Going into this, I don't think that most Brazilian fans are very optimistic. In fact, they're maybe a little nervous about the prospects coming up for their team because it has not been smooth sailing for them at all, people. As I say, it's the first time in thousands of years that them lose a game at home. So you already know that go, people. So yeah, that is Brazil's games leading up to this. Let's see. Let's check out the Colombians as well. So we saw one result from Colombia, the drubbing that they gave to US. But what else have they been up to? They did play Bolivia and give them 3-0 as well. So let's look at the lineup from that Colombia-Bolivia match. So Machado, Cuesta, Yeremina, Daniel Munoz. So that's a clear switch up from the back line in the other game. So we'll check both and see. James Rodriguez, Arias, Luis Diaz, John Cordoba gets the start, Jefferson Lerma, Richard Rios. So that was the starting lineup in the most recent one. But I do want to check this USA one as well. Let's see. So Borre started, Luis Diaz again, James again, Arias again. So that the three behind the striker were there. Jefferson Lerma started both. Uribe started this one, not the other one. The back four is what was completely different. And this to me looks like more than likely what the starting back four is going to look like. So yeah, that usually can give you a glimpse into what you're going to see. I think this back five that you see here with the keeper is probably the starters. I think Lerma is a starter as well. Who partners him is up for debate. These three, I think, will start. Then he has the options up front. Borre, John Cordoba, John Duran. You know, he can go a lot of different directions. So we'll see where they go. But I think Colombia does have some good players to call on. You know, Sinister, another good option off the bench. Quintero can pick the lock. Yeah, you know, Aspria is a speedster. Miguel Borja as well. So they have some options. They have some options, people. That is Colombia's most recent games. So yeah, I think when we're looking at this Copa America here, Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, and Paraguay, let's just, before we close off this one, let's look at Costa Rica's most recent games. So they, similar to us, only played their World Cup qualifying games. Let's see, the most recent game in Grenada, they would have won this one 3-0. Pretty good performance for them. Ugalde got a goal, so did Zamora, so did Gerald Taylor. Alcocer started. Brandon Aguilera now started as well. Yeah, so that is their starting 11. Costa Rica. You know, really interested to see what they bring, because when you look at this group, obviously it's top heavy, Brazil and Colombia. But they'd be looking at that fourth game in the group. And they'll be wanting to get something in that game against Paraguay. So yeah, when you look at the Copa America group, people, can you pick and see what you think will happen here? You know, I'm gonna go with the form book, people, and I'm gonna say that Colombia tops this group, people. I think that they're feeling it. They have confidence, a lot more than Brazil going into this. I'm gonna say Brazil does make it out of the group, though. I think they will finish second. I'm gonna keep up with my trend of no last place finishes for any of these CONCACAF teams. Costa Rica third, and I think Paraguay will be pulling up the rear in this one. That is my take, people. First place, Colombia. Might not be a popular pick to the Jamaicans, but it's going off the eye test and the form. Colombia, I think, will finish first. Brazil second. Costa Rica third. And Paraguay in fourth. That's what I believe will happen when we play this out, people. All right, so let me check in with the chat. Andrew have a big Copa, Brazil on a whole. Okay. Both starting and doing damage. Two players that age playing that in one front line is madness. Yeah, that is crazy. It's a USA thief that game, the 1-1. Yeah, man, late night football show, Travis. You know, all the people them were a night owl like myself. All right, people. So, we're coming up to the 2 hour mark, people. So, let's run through the group of life, as some people were calling it. I don't know if it's that drastic, but let's give the time now to Jamaica's group. So, we did Group A. Just to recap, I had Argentina first, Chile second, Canada third, Peru fourth. Group C, I have Uruguay first, USA second, Panama third, Bolivia fourth. Group D, I have Colombia first, Brazil second, Costa Rica third, and Paraguay fourth. So now, people, we're moving on to the Group B segment of the show. Travis Peso always ranking how much country and town man, how much local and overseas man, and now we're going to black and white. So 14 black players and 12 white players in the USA team. All right, Travis, so the black people them a win in the USA football team. Brazil not making it to the finals. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I just don't see it. Hot Chile, I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. Matter of fact, I think if my results hold and the tournament is the way I think it's gonna be, where basically like I think it's first in Group A plays second Group B, and first in Group C played second Group D. I believe when Uruguay bucked them in the quarterfinals, could be lights out, you know. Yeah. I feel like that might actually be the case. So I'm not seeing any info on how it's gonna work, read the knockout stage, at least not on this. Might have to go to CopaAmerica.com, but soon forward with that, people. Let's go back up to Group B now, people. So we're gonna go through the squads first of all the teams in Group B. Travis said Brazil run football. If you fail as a Brazil team, the country goes crazy. Even hot girls that usually don't watch football, when Brazil play, they get emotional about it. The whole country stops. They play pressure. Yeah, man, that is football. Football is religion over there. Colombia first, Brazil second. So Chile agree. Group of life, and him a laugh. Yeah, man, me here. Zoom me here with that. I think. Well, from the group first come out, and Grim had his take where he said all the teams in this group will look at it and say, boy, we have a chance, you know. So there's no clear favorite as far as Grim was concerned. But yeah, we'll see how true that feeling was once we get into these games. So yeah, this is the group right here, people. We're gonna go to the group. So first team in Group B that they have on here is Mexico. As you can see, the goalkeepers: Rangel, Julio Gonzalez, Carlos Acevedo. First thing that jumps out at me: no Memo Ochoa. This is the first time in, I don't know, let's see, it's 2024. Since what, like 2006 World Cup that we haven't seen Memo Ochoa. I think it was 2010 where we first saw Ochoa play. So yeah, that's a long time, bro. He's not there this time though. As a theme actually of this squad, a lot of the mainstays, Lozano has chosen to go in a different direction. So that's one of them. Defenders: Israel Reyes is back from Club America, Jorge Sanchez, Porto, Brian Garcia, Toluca, Cesar Montes, Almeria, Johan Vasquez, Genoa, Jesus Orozco, Chivas, Gerardo Arteaga, Rayados, and Brian Gonzalez of Pachuca. So another name that's missing that I don't see, a couple of names. Finally, no more Hector Moreno. He's not there anymore. And also Jesus Gallardo, who has been the left back for Mexico for a long time, not in this squad either. So there's three names that you normally see not there. Midfielders, we have Edson Alvarez of West Ham, of course, Luis Romo, Rayados, Eric Sanchez, Pachuca, Orbelin Pineda still over there in Greece at Athens, Roberto Alvarado, Chivas, Luis Chavez now at Dinamo Moscow, finally left Liga MX, Carlos Rodriguez, Cruz Azul, and Jordi Cortizo of Monterrey. Then forwards, we have Marcelo Flores of Tigres, Cesar Huerta of Pumas, Julian Quinones of America, the naturalized Mexican, Santiago Jimenez Feyenoord, Alexis Vega Toluca, Uriel Antuna Cruz Azul, and Guillermo Martinez of Pumas scored the equalizing goal against Brazil. Giant of a striker there. So that is the team, people. As I said before, some changeover. Some players that are normally there not picked this time around. Jaime Lozano trying to, spruce things up, maybe pick players a bit more on form and not necessarily so much experience with the national team. One glaring omission is the guy that always gives us trouble. I don't know why his name eludes me right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about, man. The striker who don't have speed, but somehow always a score on Jamaica, brother. Every time. I'll tell him name in just a second. Now look on the chat. Damn, what is the guy's name again, man? Henry Martin. Jeez, why I couldn't remember the man. So Lozano dropped Martin, him drop Ochoa, him drop Gallardo, him drop Moreno. Let me know in the comment section who I'm leaving out. But that's the one thing that jumped out to me first and foremost. The man finally switch out some people out of the team. That is true. We are the outsiders, but everybody has a chance, including us if we approach it right and have a piece of luck on our side. Big up yourself, Bianconeri boss. You ready for tomorrow? I do a live stream, Spain, Italy, Yeah, man, I do the live stream, man, and watch the game. They made us 151 outsiders to win the tournament. Us, Panama and Bolivia are seen as the worst teams in the tournament. Mexico are poor, worst I've ever seen them. Yeah, Mexico is not looking the best right now. That is the truth. That is the truth. I swear Martin never scores until he sees Jamaica. I say only us him score against. Well, I'm surprised they never put him in the team just to play with then. But that is their squad, people. And we're going to see if that's good enough once we look at all the rest. So this is Ecuador, people. Right now, Ecuador currently in 5th place in Conmebol, just above Brazil. They are ranked 32 in the world right now. So a top team did play well in this last World Cup. We're a bit unlucky, I thought, not to get out of the group. Actually, did they get out of the group? No, it was Netherlands. Yeah, it was Netherlands and Ecuador got out of the group, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, Ecuador is a dangerous team, people. And we're going to look at their squad and let you know about some of the players as well. So, Ecuador. Let me see. Ecuador. Yeah, Ecuador didn't make it out of the group. It was Senegal. That's who made it out of the group. They had to get something in that last game and they lost. That's how it did go. All right, so this is Ecuador's team, people. So let's run through it real fast. Alexander Dominguez, Hernan Galindez, and Moises Ramirez. Felix Torres, Jose Hurtado, Angelo Preciado, William Pacho, Piero Hincape. Great season with Bayer Leverkusen. Joel Ordonez, Jackson Poroso, Andres Micolta, Lion Lor. Those are the defenders. Midfielders, you have Cifuentes from Cruzeiro, Kendry Paez, one of the most talented ballers under the age of 18 or even 21 in the world right now. Already on the books of Chelsea. Still, I think he might have just turned 17 not too long ago. So yeah, incredible talent, people playing for Independiente del Valle in Ecuador. Already playing great in the Copa Libertadores and all those competitions and doing his thing. Already has quite a few caps and goal or two for his country as well. Look out for the patented left foot. He's definitely a special one, people. João Ortiz, his teammate at club level, Carlos Grueso, plays in MLS. Angel Mena at León in Mexico. Atlético Mineiro in Brazil, Alan Franco. Moise Caicedo, everybody would know from Chelsea. And Jan Yeboah plays in Czech Republic, I believe. Then you have Alan Minda, Cercle Bruges. Ener Valencia still doing it, playing in Brazil at Internacional. Jeremy Sarmiento, another talented young player, played for Ipswich this season with Omari Hutchinson. Jordi Caicedo, Atlas. Jana Caroso, not that Barcelona. And Kevin Rodriguez plays in Belgium. So yes, that is their team. Ecuador, strong team. Um, Probably a situation where the sum is better than the parts. Of course, they do have some name players that you would know, but I think this is a team that does work very hard together. Won't really give up much away. Just very. I don't think they're quite as rigid and disciplined as Uruguay, but I think they are one of those teams that is a lot like Uruguay. Definitely can put in a tackle. Very strong, combative in midfield and defense, and Ener Valencia is a player that if you give him opportunities, he will score. Very dangerous player. And I think with the additions of Sarmiento and the youth of Kendry Paez now, maybe they're getting that little bit of star quality coming through as well. So definitely a team on the up in Conmebol. As I said before, 32 ranked. Typically them around that area is pretty good for them. So yeah, they are on a good trajectory right now. Ecuador. Then as well, Venezuela. Actually, Venezuela is like right around us in the rankings currently. Venezuela ranked one place above us in 54th and Jamaica in 55th. So let's look at Venezuela's squad as well, see how they look. So Rafael Romo, Graterol, and Jose Contreras are the goalkeepers. Alexander Gonzalez, John Aramburu, Jordan Osorio from Parma, Nahuel Ferrarese, San Pablo, Wilker Angel, Christian Macoun, been around for a while, Miguel Navarro, and John Chancellor. Then midfielders, you have Jose Andres Martinez. He is the central. She's basically a holding midfielder for Philadelphia Union. Good player. Christian Caceres of Toulouse. Yangel Herrera, probably their most decorated midfielder, plays for Girona. Thomas Rincon of Santos. Daniel Pereira, Austin. Telasco Segovia. Jefferson Savarino, Botafogo. Darwin Machis, another one that should be well known to those watching La Liga at Cadiz. Matias Lavaca, Edward Bello, Kevin Andrade, and Jefferson Soteldo of Gremio in Brazil. And then the forwards, you have Solomon Rondon still doing it in Liga MX at Pachuca, Jander Cadiz from Aliaco, and Eric Ramirez of Atletico Nacional. So that is Venezuela's team. Now, of course, we have the big bad, the big bad Jamaica. So these are actually the squad numbers, which is quite interesting to see. People can see how the squad numbers are. I don't know if you guys were privy to this information yet, but Andre Blake getting the number 24. As you know, he's injured. So listed as in reserve. If we do make a deeper in the tournament, perhaps maybe he could help us out at the semi-final stage, the final, or something like that. But more than likely, won't be seeing Andre Blake in this tournament, barring some kind of medical miracle. Jamali Waite, number 23, El Paso. Shaquan Davis gets the number 1 shirt. And Kanaya Boyce Clark, number 13. Defenders, Damian Lowe sticking with his number 17. Number 3, Michael Hector. Number 25, another one brought in that hopefully can get fit in time, Amari Bell. So he loses the number 4, and Richard King takes that from him, from Cavalier. Dexter Lemikisa wearing his number he always wears. Greg Lee, his number as well. Deshaun Bernard seems to hold on the 6 now. Ethan Pinnock gets back the 5 he normally wears when he's here. Wes Harding, number 12, and John Bell getting the number 21. Midfielders, Bobby Reed, who was the number 10, Kevin Lambert, 19, Alex Marshall, 18, Joel Latiba there, 15, his normal number, Casey Palmer, 14, his normal number, Karai Anderson, 16. Shamar gets the 11 again. Leon Bailey, it should have said 27 because that's where Butler wanted him to be the 27 player. So it should have said number 27. So a typo there from Conmebol. Mikel Antonio, number 9 from West Ham. Damari Gray gets that number 7 shirt that Leon would have left. And then you have Ronaldo Cephas, number 20. Kaheem Dixon wearing the number 8 shirt for Jamaica in the Copa America. So those are the squad numbers, and that is the team, people. So yeah, that is Group B. So let's take a look at the actual schedule here. Let's see. So of course, Group B will get started on Saturday, where both teams, all 4 teams, will be in action: Ecuador, Venezuela, and Mexico and Jamaica. Then the next game would be on Wednesday. 2 games again. Jamaica plays the earlier game. That's going to be 3 o'clock my time at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. So that's going to be actually, is that my time? I wonder. Okay, so it's the city's local time. All right, cool. I'm glad I checked that. So that means it will be 6 o'clock where I am. So 3 o'clock in Vegas. So that's going to be a hot one. It's been a heat wave in the States right now. Venezuela, Mexico. That's in Inglewood. So that will be 9 o'clock here where I am. All right, so we play Ecuador second, Mexico first, and of course we close off with Venezuela, which is going to be Sunday the 30th. And Texas, okay, so that will probably be about 9 o'clock my time. I think Texas is 2 hours behind. So yes, people, those are the games. So, you know, we have Mexico first, familiar foe. Obviously, they have a much higher ranking than us and a very good record against us. But apart from the 3-0, we have played them, close enough. All right, Mexico. We are capable of beating Mexico and starting the tournament with a shock. To me, it wouldn't even be a shock. Wow. Well, Mexico is not at their best, but we'll see. We'll see. We've been able to eke out some results under this coach. Hasn't been pretty, but we have been able to get some draws. And the one thing missing, well, he did beat Canada, so that was a big scalp. But I think the US and the Mexican team now, those are the next ones for the coach. I think have to try to beat one of those teams or both. I think he is, bro, like many of Mexico players, it's a weak squad in my opinion. Yeah, Sarmiento is a baller. Nothing special about his game. Antuna, these type of players are nothing to worry about in my opinion. So 1-1 is not high on any of the Mexican players. Venezuela have improved a lot over the last 10 or so years. They're like Bolivia, but started producing better players who are capable of beating them though. True. Oh yeah, laugh, Kyle. 27. Yeah, man, it's the squad numbers for the team. Man, I really think Bobby Bosa, Dixon Sivas are good players for real. Honest opinion, are just good in Concacaf. Yeah, I do think that all these players are good players. I mean, I have seen, obviously, I think of these 4 players, I think Bobby is probably the best out of all of them. And then I'd probably have to put Bosa next, just based on what he has been able to do in CONCACAF and for the national team. But Dixon and Cephas have high ceilings, I think. I think Cephas, with the right coaches and the right coaching, can develop into a really good player. He has a lot of raw talent. So I have seen improvement in his actual technical skills since he's been in Turkey. I know that might be a crazy thing to some because he's still a bit raw in that department, but he has improved from his days at Arnett Gardens in his touch and just his technical ability and stuff. So, if he continues to get better, it can only go up. You know what I mean? They say heat wave across the world. I believe it. Best time to down Mexico. We're 45 seconds away from beating US. That is true, actually. One bounce of the ball off of Corey Burke's head. I need to hear what you see in Dixon. I'm not seeing because I don't think he's good. I think Kaheem Dixon, he's extremely raw, right? We can't go around that fact. I mean, everything don't look as pretty as it should right now with Dixon. He lacks physical strength, I think. But I do believe that he does have a real sense for danger in terms of in the striking position. I'm talking like, it is a skill to time your run and to arrive in areas at the right time. And based on what I've seen of him, the limited time I've seen him, whether it's at Arnett or Clarendon College even, and I know context matters, so I shouldn't really be using what I've seen in schoolboy level or even in the Premier League. But in his limited time with Jamaica, I think he did a lot better against a team like Dominica because of the level. So I don't know how consistent he can be great for us in a competition like the Copa. But a few minutes here or there, just when we need a goal or something like that, I don't see the problem, because I do think he can sniff out chances. He just has that talent, and I don't think that's something that necessarily you need muscles or anything like that to get to. If you just can read the bounce of a ball or read a play developing and get into a spot, you can be the smallest, tiniest human being and still score that goal. So I think the level where some people want to put him is overblown, Phil B. I'll give you that. But there is something in that player there, Phil B, for sure. I don't know if what I'm seeing would warrant him being in a Copa America squad. I think that's a whole other conversation. But I do think that there's promise in there, Phil B, for sure. If we try to play football toe-to-toe, Mexico will probably beat us with this coach. The last performance makes me concerned, but I expect us to be more defensive and compact this time. Well, to be totally honest, people, I am only doing this segment of this show just to get through all the groups, and I'm going to pick my order for how I think the group is going to finish as well in this show. But I'm going to go more in depth tomorrow. So what's going to happen is tomorrow I'm going to do watch along with Spain, Italy for sure. So that one will be 3 o'clock. So look out for the thumbnail to be dropped sometime before then. Drop a like on it and join me if you can. 3 o'clock my time, which is 8 o'clock in England, 2 o'clock in Jamaica, 12 o'clock if you're in California and the West Coast. So look out for that during the day. And then at night time, maybe not as late as tonight, but at some point in the night, well, it might actually be kind of late, because I'm going to watch the Argentina Canada game, and then I'll probably do a live stream towards the end of that game, probably start one. So look out for that. Tomorrow is going to be basically what we like to call a tactical corner, where we're going to look at both teams in full, try to predict lineups, try to predict tactical, how it's going to play out on the pitch. We'll have both teams on the screen, and we'll play around with it and see if we can get that done. I have a nice program that gives you the option to have both teams on the screen. So we're going to try to look at the field from a tactical point of view, and that should be fun. Look at the amount of chances he got against Dominica. Yeah, I mean, we'd love to see him convert them, but credence has to be given to getting an opportunity to get the chances as well. We can't overlook that. I think Dixon shows some promise. He has good after ball movement, gets in good position, and makes smart runs. Yeah, 1-1. I think every reason why he's in this team is why I think he could make the team, because when you factor in the physical deficiencies, maybe it drops him out, but all of his strengths are really cerebral things that maybe don't require strength or power. It's just timing, and that's why I say he could be 5 foot, 100 pounds. The way he kind of gets into position, you might not necessarily need to be strong. You know what I mean? I think it is talent. It's just coaching and learning. After one is not difficult with good coaching from young. A lot of our players like that. Well, yeah, that's kudos to who has developed him then. He's been in Lenny Hyde's program for a long time. I guess Xavier Gilbert would want to take some of that credit as well for coaching him in the Premier League. But it's clear that he does do a decent job thinking the game, because he does end up in the right positions a lot of the time. That's what I'm saying. He's this good that gets in Copa squad. Man, I'm in Jamaica. I think some players are better than they are, which is crazy. Yeah, Phil B, there is a overriding team in Jamaica that, once a player does anything noteworthy, they automatically put him in the national team. That's just the way it is. So I don't think we're going to ever grow to that as a nation. But yeah, I think, yeah, in the perfect world, that wouldn't be a reason to put somebody on a team, just where they're playing, and we need to we need to give them exposure and those things. I don't like to hear those things. Phil B said, do a discard for Canada game and Italy game if you can. Let me see, the Canada game, the Italy game. I probably could, Probably could still. And I do have a discard. I just need people to I need to put it in my description so people can know. So yeah, if you need a discard, let me know from early. Of course I can't show it on the YouTube channel while I'm doing the stream, but I'll have the play-by-play running, and if I can set it up, I will definitely share my but how would I do it though? I guess I could do it from my phone and share it through that. Yeah, so if you don't want me to do that, let me know, people. Leave it in the comment section if you don't want me to do a discard for the 2 games. I won't be doing a stream during the Argentina game, but I can still put it in the discard if people need. Yeah, and his finishing was not good in the game, but the runs he made to get the chances were excellent. He has been coached well. Agree. Kobe Thomas is a lot better than Dixon right now, and I mean a lot better. Phil B, you might. I think you are correct, actually. I don't know if Kobe Thomas is a striker or a winger, so I don't know if it's a true like for like. But yeah, if you just want to pick a better player, then yeah, Kobe Thomas I thought was amazingly left off of the U20 team. People talk about Lenny Hyde being a good coach all the time, and from what I'm seeing in Dixon, it supports that opinion. Yeah, he's developed quite a few players. I think just now starting to get his true flowers, and I think they're deserved. 1-1, yep. I think he's finishing with improving in his next games. He'll be okay. He was one of the young players that showed some ability, but I've not seen him in a long time. Is he doing well? He's still at Inter Miami Academy. I believe he's the captain of his team now at the level he's playing. I'm sure he would like to, want to get a sniff close to the first team at this point, but still playing the MLS next. But yeah, doing well though. Definitely one of the top players in that whole system right now, in terms of the ones that are still, playing with the MLS next squads and stuff. Hopefully in Copa America during this time, to my knowledge, I don't think MLS is taking a full break. So with a lot of the players gone, hopefully he can maybe make a bench or get a more look in with the first team training and stuff. Yeah, definitely should have been in under 20. All right, people. So the last thing we're gonna do before we sign off tonight is just go ahead and pick the group route, right? So this is a tough one, people, because obviously my allegiance would lie with Jamaica in this group. And I want to figure out a scenario where they get through the group. I have to remember that Jamaica has never gained a point at the Copa America. So first things first, Jamaica will gain their first point in the Copa America. I don't think we're going to lose all 3 games, people. So fear not, we will not lose all 3 games. The question is, can we find 3 points out of these 3 games somewhere? The familiarity with Mexico and their current form, even though they look better against Brazil, I want to say this is as good a time as any to get something from Mexico in a game. Now, the one thing that I really hate is that this first game is in Houston, because literally that's like a home game for Mexico. It's right there. It's not so far to get over to Mexico from there. And Texas already has a lot of Mexican population. So that is going to be a tough atmosphere. But not one that we're not used to. We faced that somewhat in the Nations League as well, when that game was played in Texas as well, and was well supported by the USA fans. But there were a lot of Mexicans there cheering for Jamaica too, so we had a little bit of some cheering going on for us. But this one will be a all the way Mexican crowd for the most part. And I'm sure a smattering of some Jamaica fans will be there as well. So big up to all the Jamaica fans making the journey. Wish I could be there to join you and cheer on, but my life does not set up that way there right now with the kids and all the stuff going on. But enough of that. First place in this group, people. I'm going to go for an upset as far as FIFA rankings are concerned. I think Ecuador is going to top this group. I think Kendry Paez is primed to break out and do some crazy things in this one. So Ecuador first. As much as I want to, people, I'm going to be honest with myself. This is not my heart. This is my head. Mexico will come second in the group, people. I'm sorry. Jamaica will get a point. Will they get 2 is the question. I'm going to say Jamaica finish above Venezuela. It might be a mad take, but I'm going to say Jamaica finish 3rd and Venezuela finish 4th. Venezuela have a tough time in this group this time. You know what? I'll switch it up. I think Venezuela actually going to come 2nd. Jamaica 3rd. And Mexico will be firing Jaime Lozano after a 4th place finish. So Ecuador, Venezuela, Jamaica, Mexico. That's what I'm going with, people. I wanted to put Jamaica 2nd, yo. I wanted to. But I just worry about the form we're in. I know the team was different in those 2 World Cup qualifiers. But look, prove me wrong, Jamaica. Prove me wrong. I have you guys finishing 3rd. I'm analyzing this thing. And that's how I see it. I think Mexico has the worst showing in a tournament. For them, they're going to finish 4th. I'm going to regret doing this, Ecuador, Venezuela, Jamaica, Mexico, people. That's how I'm saying it. May I give Jamaica 3rd, people. May I give Jamaica 3rd. Mexico, I finished last, me say. Alright, so let me just check in with the chat before I cut out. So yeah, you heard it here, people. Huge Jamaica fan, but this is an analyst show, people. I'm have to be real. Jamaica finishing 3rd. I'll give them 3rd. I think Mexico is going to have a hurried tournament. I just have a feeling. I'm not going to put it together. Ecuador 1st, Venezuela 2nd, Jamaica 3rd, and Mexico in pulling up the rear in last place. All right, so check in. Let me check in. We're getting 1 point, says Phil B. Dan says 7 points we get. We play better away. I'm not expecting too much, but I'm hopeful. Venezuela leave gaps to exploit on the counter, and Mexico are not great. Ecuador are not unbeatable either. We can't go to toe-to-toe, but we can win games. We definitely do. Fresh Cut said 1 point. Really? We have no midfield. I expect to pull results. Bro, Jamaica coming out of this group. I see more than 1 point. Phil B said 1 point. Jamaica 1st or 2nd, said Dan. Mexico and Ecuador, says Phil B. I went with the 2 Conmebol teams. I'm going for Ecuador 1st and Jamaica 2nd. If we start the first game trying to dominate and play open, I will change my mind within 2 minutes of the first game starting. Dan said, Pinnock is here. Have no fear. I've never said I have no fear part, but I couldn't resist. We play better home away from home. Let's see. He said, Gray, Cephas. I will change my mind if I see a stupid formation for the first game. But I believe we're going to see the same formation we saw in the Nations League, so we'll see. 1st or 2nd, Jamaica. Mexico not finishing last, LOL. Why not? They can. They I'm sure can finish last. You go and feel them can't finish last. Heart overhead. Yeah, 1-1. It told me not even want to say we not qualify, brother, but it's if I like credibility, I gotta keep it. I'm not gonna tell no lie to the people. I have to tell my honest opinion of what I think going to happen. Now, will I be cheering for that to happen? No, because I would rather be wrong about this. But this is an analyst show. I'm going to analyze and tell you. And I'm even, the analyst in me is even lying, because I want to put Jamaica last and Mexico 3rd, But The fan win the one day. Me nah put Jamaica in the last. Me just nah go say that happen. Ecuador, Venezuela, Jamaica, Mexico. Who vex one vex? Dan say we shock the world. Bailey head I got hurt him when the team do well. Jano, Dan. 2 hours and 20 minutes, you know. I'm gonna mention Bailey not one time, and I go say it, you know. Yo, I almost broke the record, people. I never said the man name not one time. Wow. All right, people. Big up on yourself, you know. At them time now, you know. I've what time now? Almost 2. Yeah, so in the tomorrow's people, look out for the thumbnail for the Spain, Italy, of course. We have 2 games before that too. Group D, not Group D, Group C games are gone. So that means Denmark, England, and Serbia versus was it Austria? I think it's Austria. Let me double check. No, Slovenia and Serbia. Sorry. Slovenia and Serbia, Denmark, England, and Spain, Italy. So some good matches tomorrow, people. Definitely we'll be doing the watch along, as I said, for the big one, the Spain, Italy one. But might start that one a little early so we can catch piece of the England game. But more than likely, just start it just for the Spain, Italy one. Keep it to one stream. If I had the time, if I come back early enough, I might just do the Denmark England game too, you know. But true, me no want to burn out myself. Spain, Italy, and then I'll come back into the night for the tactics. A deeper look into the Jamaica versus Mexico game, just to try to figure out how it will look. Zine? So yeah, man, that is it, people. Me just see what one wanna say. We should soak up pressure, be compact, but we also have to put our front players in position to counter. If we just sit back with no plan to attack, I expect it to go wrong. Yeah, that's true. You must always put your country first. Dan, this is not about patriotism, boss. This is about analyzing football. Okay? So always remember that. Just because I analyze and think that another team might come out on top, don't mean I don't love the country. Or maybe this was to Bailey and not me. I'm not sure. Bailey number 27. Yeah. That them should have given, brother. A Jamaican Shaka is coming in the Copa. A good one too. Fresh, I hope you're right. And I hope I am wrong. That is a fact. It's not easy to strike the right balance. It takes start. Hopefully our coach can do some sensible things. Compact and hit on the counter. Yeah, man, Fresh. Big up yourself. Respect for the support and the views and the comments and everything, boss. Respect. Yeah, he should be. Yeah, man. So big up to all of the people them in the building. Phil B. I gotta see if me sort out the Discord and everything. So by tomorrow when the game are going, it's up and running. TNT, something happened and got kicked, I think. Oh, okay. Oh, so it was an injury. Well, that JFF told us still, but I'm not sure. Ishmael King up, you know. Yeah, man, you reach at the end of the show, boss. But big up yourself, same way. Make sure to like the video. Share the content around. You don't know, this is a rewatchable content. So people that were sleeping, definitely watch this on the replay. And you will see that we went through all the groups, tried to pick them. Sad to say I didn't have Jamaica going through in this one. But hopefully I'm wrong, people, and my predictions normally are correct. So that's not, that don't mean very good for Jamaica, but I might just be wrong this time, people. So again, bless up for the support, respect for tuning in. All those watching on the replay, be sure leave your thoughts in the comment section. Go ahead and put your group results predictions in the comment section as well, and we can continue the conversation there. So once again, people, great show. Really glad you guys could tune in. And yes, one. I hope I am wrong as well. But big up on yourself, people. It's Jason Gooner TV again with the full Copa preview show. And remember, keep it locked into Jason Gooner TV. It's a football summer, and we're going to be here for all of it, people. So big up on yourself. One love. I'm out of here, people. Blessings.